This is Midday Live. I start with one of our headline stories, and the Volta River Authority says the current load shedding will not end soon. The head of corporate affairs of the VRA, Samuel Fletcher, says the lack of a reserve means any time maintenance work has to be done, the country has to experience load shedding. Here's a report by Sandra Malkwe.
Ghana has faced frequent and unannounced power outages. As of May 7, 2014, the Volta River Authority received about 65 million standard cubic feet of gas from Nigeria. Though many expected the situation will normalize power supply, the VRA has hinted the situation is not likely to get better due to inadequate national reserves.
If all the machines are working, then I can tell you that there's no dumso at all. If all the machines are working, no dumso. If any of the machines has to go down again, you have to fall back on dumso. Why? No reserve. So that's why I'm saying until we have a reserve, we cannot have that concrete assurance that we'll never go back to dumso.
The current demand at peak period is estimated at 2,000 megawatts, while the generation capacity is at 1,800 megawatts.
We have quite a number of machines that are undergoing maintenance work. Asogli usually gives us 180. Today they are giving us just about 130 because they have to work on some of their machines. So the gas is available. Asogli will not use it for those machines because those machines are not available. Senate is down. It gives us 130 megawatts, but it's down because they have a damaged transformer. They are working on it. You go to Takrady. Tico has 2 units. They are only running one of their units because they have to work on the other unit. That's about 110 megawatts of electricity that is not available.
Per the contractual agreement, Nigeria is expected to supply Ghana with about 123 million standard cubic feet of gas daily. The Volta River Authority explained, though the supply contract has always been breached, Ghana will continue to rely on Nigeria for gas even after the completion of the Ghana Gas Project.
So we're delving more into the story, and this afternoon we do have Peter Mewu, an energy expert, on the phone line. Good afternoon, thanks for your time. Hi. Peter. Hello, Peter.
Hello.
All right, thanks for your time. Now, I don't know if you're very close to your television set, but just some few seconds ago we did play a story, and the head of corporate affairs from the VRA, Samuel Fletcher, says that unless there is a reserve, they can't guarantee that the load shedding will end. What's your take on this issue?
Well, I think this has been the problem since the power eruptions commenced in this country. So, invariably, he's right. But this was the point we've been raising consistently for some time now. And I'm happy he's now coming into terms with the reality. And so he's right.
But can we still continue to just talk about it when really there's no solution? How best can we stay away from load shedding?
It is just not talking about it. We need to walk the talk. What we need to do as a country is to take aggressive strategies and see how we can address this power problem. It is normal for every emerging country to experience a situation like this. But our approach to the situation as a government is nothing to write home about. And we need to look at appropriate alternatives.
And for
Don't forget, what brought us to this particular situation as we are experiencing now largely has to do with government indecision and policy direction.
And
Number
for
one,
you, okay,
the commencement of the gas processing plant was delayed. And that was just government and political decision to do that. And so that also contributes to where we are today.
And if you're talking about alternatives, as an expert, what will be the very specific alternatives you think government should take to enable us stay away completely or stay away from load shedding in this country?
Number one, what I think we need to do now is to stop the political game of rural electrification. It is good that our people must have electricity to do their basic things in terms of power needs. But doing aggressive expenditure of transmission to villages where the people will only be hooked on 58 watts, 30 watts power doesn't give any indications of good returns on investment. we need to bring in a policy that will make those distance areas to ride on off-grid generation or embedded generation. Government must begin to introduce renewable programs that will make it possible for villages that are some distance away from the international grid or the national grid to rely on embedded generation. That will reduce the cost. Number two, it is time we consumers on our own must also live to the expectations of supply sometimes. The days are gone when demand always have to call supply to live to expectation of demand. We need to do something internally as consumers. And so it is our responsibility to plan our power usage. Appliance decision-making stages must be an individual decision. And so as and when we consumers are also able to realize that government on its own cannot solve the power problem, there is no way this situation will come to an end. And we also need to separate politics from power, energy, because the fact will always come to be a reality.
Now, Peter, we always have looked at hydro and thermal. Have we failed to look at other options, which we've always had governments talk about severally? Wind, look at solar energy. Have we failed in that aspect as well as a country?
We have totally failed in looking at alternatives. The sea wave technology, it's one of the newest technology that is coming out. It's an alternative. Look at the sort of erosion that we are witnessing as a result of the sea close to our shores. With introduction of sea wave technology that can generate power, it can also solve the problem of sea erosion. And so we need to look beyond the hydro. Currently, we have exceeded our hydro limits. All our hydro limits are exceeded. We have problems with thermal because of security of supply of the feed in terms of gas, and if it is crude oil, then probably because of the cost of crude oil. So we need to look beyond into other non-conventional way of generating electricity. Basically, what you have to do is implementing that law. Because one of the requirements in that law is to make sure that conventional generators have a renewable obligatory certificate, which will force them to add certain percentage of renewable to their energy mix. We are not witnessing that because the law has not been put into motion.
Okay. Well, thank you very much indeed for your time. I have been speaking with Peter Amebu, who is an energy expert, and we're looking at the load shedding situation in the country.